Tell me about him. What was he like?
Well, so when I was little and growing up, he was a firefighter, and he worked 24 hours and then was off 48. So he and I spent a lot of time together. We spent a lot of time together outside. That was his, favorite thing. He really loved the outdoors, hunting, fishing, gardening, anything to do with, the land and outside. And so we did a lot of that. And he taught me a lot about wildlife and about plants. And I was probably one of the only kids that knew how to use almost every tool there was. And also, I always like to add that I was probably one of the only little kids that was posed with any dead animal, every dead animal known to man, pretty much. Because he always wanted to show off his catch or what he got while he was hunting. And yeah, I was like, oh, well, pose me right there with him. But those are my fondest memories, is just spending time with him outside and in our yard. And we lived on 9 acres kind of out in the country. And so we spent a lot of time walking through the woods and talking about trees and plants and all kinds of things like that. So he was very knowledgeable when it came to the outdoors. And I developed a love for the outdoors and gardening and all those things because of him. So those are probably my biggest, fondest memories, because he did spend a whole lot of time with me when I was little. And then later on, when I was more, I think in high school, is when they merged public safety into one. So they merged the police department and the fire department together. And so at that point, he had to go to police academy. And so he went off to police academy, and he did excellent. And he won all the awards for being top of the class, and came home and kind of integrated the two worlds. And he was a big part of that too, because he had been with the fire department for a really long time. And he did really well, and again, in all of his police endeavors too. He was a diver also, and so he was kind of the person who started up the whole dive team, search and rescue in Orangeburg as well. And so he just did a little bit of everything when it came to working for public safety. He very quickly was promoted, and so he was a captain. And they had, at that time, they had the chief of police, and then they had 4 captains over the different divisions. And so he was the captain of special operations, which kind of had a lot of the SWAT stuff and the dive team and a lot of those different things involved, and which again were things that he was good at and he enjoyed, so it made his job a little more pleasurable. And so he did end up kind of being the right-hand man of the chief at that time, Wendell Davis, and they had a very good relationship and rapport. And he had several good friends on the force, one of which became, after my dad passed, later became the chief of police there in Orangeburg too for a time, until he passed away. So I just remember him being, really, he did enjoy his job. He was nervous about becoming a police officer. That wasn't what he originally went into. And so making that big kind of career change, I think he definitely was a little nervous about it, but he did well. I mean, anything that he really worked at hard, he did really well at. So,
what are some words you would use to describe him?
He was a perfectionist, so not super easy to live with as a dad, and being an only child too. He was definitely a perfectionist. Like I said, he excelled at everything that he did, and he was really, really good at everything that he put his mind to. He was very smart and wise, and one thing that for me, as being his daughter, that has been really hard about losing him, is that I really feel like as an adult, I only really started having the opportunity to tap into that wisdom and knowledge. Because, we're in our early 20s and we're getting married and having, we think we know what we're doing and we're just going to go out and navigate our way. And I tried doing, I did a lot of my big first, life decisions without consulting him, and then realized after the fact, oh, here's a wealth of knowledge that, I really need to kind of tap into. And I really just started doing that when he was taken.